Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video on Manhwa Recap. Today, we're diving into a series of hilarious and unexpected situations that are guaranteed to keep you entertained from start to finish. Before we begin, if you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to support the channel. And if there's anything you think can be improved, feel free to leave a comment below so I can make future videos even better. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. This story drops us straight into a completely reversed world where gender roles are flipped upside down. Here, women dominate construction sites, swinging hammers like absolute bosses without breaking a sweat, and the creeps causing trouble in public transportation are no longer men. Now it's the older ladies acting suspicious instead. What a wild setup. Even the responsibility of earning money has completely switched sides. Women carry the financial burden, while men are treated like precious treasures. And if a woman wants to marry a man here, she has to prove herself with talent and status first. Our protagonist honestly finds that rule pretty reasonable, but reality quickly hits him. He's basically being monitored every single day. The guy just wants a little freedom, yet even that gets denied. Naturally, frustration starts building up. The guards remain unmoved, without permission from their boss. There's absolutely no chance of letting him leave. Seeing brute force won't work. Our guy instantly changes tactics. Out comes the innocent act. Smooth move, not gonna lie. He only asks for a walk inside the yard. And surprisingly, the caretaker starts hesitating. After all, the request sounds harmless enough. Eventually, she gives in. Though not without warnings. He is allowed to stay in the yard only. One step beyond that, and everyone gets into trouble. Our protagonist happily agrees, but inside his head, another plan is already forming. He's practically thanking the absent owner for being away. So he starts circling the yard nonstop. And before long, the scout mission actually pays off. Security around the villa has noticeably decreased, especially near the front gate. A guard station that used to be packed now has almost nobody there. Pretty suspicious. Normally, when An Ziyi is home, security is tighter than a military base. So, something clearly changed. Still, this front gate looks like the only possible escape route. And he's not about to ignore it. Back inside, he casually questions the caretaker. Fishing for information. Why are there fewer guards around? Turns out the company is facing problems. Many guards were reassigned and won't return for several days. Bingo. Our protagonist hides his excitement perfectly. That evening, he stands by the third-floor window. After a full day of observation, everything checks out. Not only did security not increase, more personnel were actually removed. The place is getting emptier by the hour. Even the remaining guard looks exhausted. Nobody can stay alert 24 hours straight. The perfect opening has arrived. Still, he waits patiently. An Ziyi hasn't returned yet, which means she's genuinely occupied. Maybe even out of town. But one mistake could ruin everything. Finally, after Sao Jodan, the last active guard heads back. The coast appears clear. It's now or never. Decision made. He rushes into another bedroom. Bed sheets and covers get tied together. A classic escape rope, old school but effective. After paring everything, he makes one final phone call. Just to confirm the enemy's position. A sneaky intelligence check. The reaction on the other end says it all. An Ziyi is clearly surprised. She's still away on business, far from the city, and won't be back immediately. The call ends. Our hero can barely contain himself. The prison break is officially underway, but then the perspective suddenly shifts. An Ziyi watches him through surveillance footage. And reality hits hard. She realizes every move he's making screams one thing. The man has been planning an escape all along. His heart was never truly there. Ouch! That's an emotional critical hit. Even sincere feelings are getting rejected. Meanwhile, back in the villa, the escape rope is finally complete. He lowers himself from the third-floor window, then carefully checks the hallway. Everything remains quiet. No alarms, no guards. Back to the window he goes, gripping the sheets tightly, one careful move after another. And just like that, success. He sprints across the yard at full speed. Yet something feels strangely off. Passing the guard station, he finds it completely empty. Even the main gate isn't fully locked. Almost like someone intentionally prepared this route. Wait a second. He nearly turns back from pure suspicion. The dark villa stares back silently. One wrong move, and this could be a giant trap. But if he waits for An Ziyi, escape becomes impossible. So he chooses freedom and bolts hundreds of miles away by taxi. His bank balance melts faster than ice in summer. But at least he's finally out of the province. Standing before a hotel, he takes a deep breath. All that suffering finally paid off. For the first time, freedom feels sweeter than anything imaginable. The next morning, he revisits a familiar bank, the same place he passed during a previous escape. There, he retrieves valuables hidden earlier. A smart backup plan. Those items are worth serious money. Perfect emergency funds if things go south again. Returning to the hotel, he suddenly notices something unsettling. It feels like someone is watching him. Yet every time he turns around, nobody is there. Back inside his room, he leans against the door and relaxes, looking at his reflection on the phone screen. Still handsome, just a little exhausted. Then comes the confidence boost. He starts mocking An Ziyi for underestimating him. Thinking she could control him forever, our guy is feeling invincible right now. Convinced he outplayed everyone. Unfortunately, there's only a door separating him from whatever is waiting outside. The next plot twist is definitely loading, and it's coming fast. What our hero doesn't know is that An Ziyi has already followed him all the way just in time to hear him bragging inside the room. Especially that ridiculously smug victory speech. The more she listens, the angrier she gets. At this point, she's dying to see his reaction. When the truth finally drops on his head. Meanwhile, our escape artist casually strips down and heads for a shower. He still has important plans ahead. Completely relaxed, he enjoys the shower while humming happily. A few minutes later, he opens the bathroom door wearing only shorts. And in that exact instant, he sees An Ziyi and her mother sitting beside the bed. The guy is so shocked he thinks he's hallucinating. He immediately slams the door shut. This plot twist nearly sends him to another dimension. His brain completely freezes. After a few seconds, he slowly opens the door again. Unfortunately, they're still sitting there. No bug, no glitch, no dream. He can't understand how they found him so quickly. After all, he thought his escape was flawless. For a moment, the room falls completely silent. His face turns pale. Then An Ziyi beckons him over. A simple gesture. But the smile on her face is absolutely terrifying. One look and our hero knows he's cooked, without thinking twice. He dashes around the bed toward the exit. The door opens and his vision immediately goes dark. An entire wall of bodyguards is blocking the entrance. The poor guy gets bounced right back, and An Ziyi calmly walks up behind him, dragging him back into the room. Now he desperately tries to act innocent, pretending everything is a misunderstanding. The panic couldn't be more obvious. An Ziyi immediately turns his own words against him. A flawless counterattack. The guy suddenly runs out of excuses and starts stammering, trying to survive the interrogation, mostly because he's afraid she'll completely snap. So he instantly switches targets, running toward the mother for protection. A classic emergency escape route. He keeps insisting he's innocent, but the mother's expression has clearly changed. She's genuinely hurt by his actions. Watching him run away broke her heart. Then An Ziyi coldly delivers the verdict. Get dressed. And come home. No negotiations. The pressure is overwhelming. Our hero can already imagine the consequences. Then his eyes suddenly light up. Another emergency plan activates. He asks to stay with the mother instead. Anywhere but the villa. Unfortunately, the timing couldn't be worse after all that bragging earlier. His confidence has completely evaporated. The mother gently comforts him. But doesn't agree. Seeing that tactic fail, he decides to gamble bigger, admitting that running away was wrong, yet still begging for another solution. The mother immediately points out the flaw. If he feels guilty, shouldn't he return with her daughter? That logic lands like a critical hit. Still unwilling to give up, he insists he'll get beaten if he returns. The mother just smiles helplessly. Meanwhile, An Ziyi suddenly hugs him. But there's a chilling smile hidden underneath. It vanishes in an instant. Yet our protagonist catches it perfectly. The survival instinct kicks in hard. He immediately surrenders, promising never to run again, trying to negotiate peace. But An Ziyi's smile only grows wider. She reassures him, no beating. She'll simply take very good care of him. And somehow that sounds even scarier. Every alarm bell in his head starts ringing. This woman is definitely planning something. Under the watchful eyes of the mother and daughter. He grabs his backpack, slowly moving toward the exit. The bodyguards stand several meters away. Everything seems calm. Then suddenly, the guy launches a last-second escape attempt. What a madman. He bolts toward the stairs at full speed. Exactly as everyone expected. An Ziyi and her mother exchange a glance, then calmly follow after him. Meanwhile, he's already panicking, running all the way to the rooftop. The mother can't understand why he's so stubborn. He's literally cornering himself. But seeing her worried expression, he suddenly gains confidence and immediately pulls out the ultimate weapon, the rooftop threat. One more step, and he'll jump. An Ziyi isn't impressed at all. She even reminds him of his fear of heights. A direct psychological attack, brutal. Then she casually brings up Kuye, and our hero instantly becomes flustered. That reaction says way too much. Still, he keeps bluffing, demanding they leave. Sadly for him, the mother has seen this trick before. Nobody believes he'll actually jump. He keeps yelling, trying to make the threat convincing, even adding dramatic gestures. But the act isn't fooling anyone. Not even a little. The mother patiently persuades him, telling him to stop causing trouble. As long as he behaves, she'll make sure An Ziyi doesn't hurt him. Hearing that, he suddenly feels a complicated mix of emotions. He knows he hurt her feelings, yet he still desperately wants freedom. So he repeats the threat again. Unfortunately, An Ziyi simply stands there with folded arms, not moving an inch. Our hero starts getting nervous because she's not reacting at all. Then comes the fatal counter. She calmly tells him to jump if he wants, because from this height, there's a good chance he won't even die. What a savage ending to the standoff. An Ziyi fires back with the most terrifying argument possible. Even if he jumps, there's no guarantee he'll die. He might just end up permanently disabled instead. And she promises she'll take care of him forever afterward. Now our hero is trapped in a dilemma. The bluff has gone way too far. If he doesn't jump, his dignity is finished. So he immediately changes the topic, accusing An Ziyi of deception. She claimed to be on a business trip, yet secretly followed him the entire time. Watching him rage helplessly is comedy gold. Even An Ziyi can't hold back her laughter. Her mother is struggling not to laugh too, because this guy is ridiculously adorable when angry. Zero intimidation, maximum comedy. Then the truth finally comes out. The fake business trip was actually a test of his sincerity. Unfortunately for her, the result is heartbreaking. The moment she left, he immediately ran. And our hero doesn't even deny it after everything he suffered. Of course, he wanted freedom. In his eyes. Staying means eventual doom. The rooftop standoff drags on. Minute after minute passes. Eventually, he issues one final ultimatum. Leave now, or he's jumping. The problem is, nobody takes him seriously anymore. He keeps shouting, keeps threatening, keeps hesitating. 20 minutes later, he's still standing there. Even his mother-in-law figure starts treating him like a child, which only makes him even angrier. At this point, he's furious that nobody respects the danger. The situation is real. He's standing less than half a meter from the edge, and the rooftop is cluttered with signs. Then suddenly, his foot catches on one of them. There is no preparation, no dramatic decision. The guy simply slips and instantly unleashes enough internal profanity to fill an entire novel. This wasn't part of the plan at all. Meanwhile, An Wanrong is completely stunned. Nobody expected him to actually fall. This is the 6th floor. Not just her. An Ziyi completely loses her composure too. She rushes toward the edge like a madwoman. For the first time, genuine panic appears. Both women lean over the rooftop, expecting the worst possible outcome. Instead, they discover a bizarre scene below. The protagonist has landed safely on a firefighter air cushion, a lucky save worthy of a main character. Later, while drifting in and out of consciousness, he hears a very familiar voice. A voice he definitely recognizes. As his eyes slowly open, The first thing he sees is An Ziyi's ice-cold face. He immediately retreats under the blankets. It takes several seconds before reality sinks in. No miracle happened. No reset button. He's still here. And An Wanrong is deeply disappointed. The stunt nearly gave everyone a heart attack. Both mother and daughter were terrified. Then comes An Ziyi's final judgment. After being deceived again and again, she's done forgiving him. From now on, there will be no more chances to escape. Her expression is frighteningly calm. But the disappointment in her eyes is obvious. Our hero instantly panics, trying to apologize. Because being locked up forever sounds like a nightmare. He desperately begs for mercy. Sadly, it changes nothing. An Ziyi smiles. She says she'll stay home and keep him company personally, then casually tosses him onto the bed. Our protagonist immediately senses danger and carefully attempts negotiations. A very cautious approach. His first request is to throw away all the whips. Just hearing about them gives him PTSD. Big mistake. Because An Ziyi suddenly remembers something. A very important something. She leaves the room without explanation and returns holding an actual whip. The atmosphere instantly freezes. Our hero starts sweating bullets. He immediately protests, trying every possible threat, even bringing up her mother as backup. But the moment he sees the whip, his breathing practically stops. An Ziyi finally states the real purpose. This is a warning for future escape attempts. A very effective warning. As night falls, the whip hangs above his head like a psychological boss battle. The guy can't stop staring at it. Then suddenly, An Ziyi enters wearing very casual sleepwear, looking completely relaxed, and immediately climbs into bed. Our hero pretends to be sleepy, a strategic retreat, because every time she appears like this, he gets extremely nervous, so he decides to avoid trouble. Unfortunately, An Ziyi has new rules. No turning his back while sleeping. He must face her. The guy is completely baffled. What kind of rule is that? He just wants some sleep. But An Ziyi refuses to compromise. Her tone leaves absolutely no room for discussion. And that's when he realizes the truth. This is punishment for the escape attempt. The next morning, he instinctively stretches, only to discover both arms are numb, like something heavy pinned them down. Now he finally understands why he slept so badly. It wasn't sleep paralysis. An Ziyi had practically turned him into a pillow. The realization hits hard, but before he can finish complaining, smack. A slap lands right on his face, instantly deleting all remaining sleep. Naturally, he protests, only for An Ziyi to remind him that she's already forbidden him from using foul language. Another round of discipline has officially begun. He nods on the surface, but inside, he's already plotting his next escape route. The suffering is real. For him, holding back complaints hurts more than any punishment. Then he suddenly changes tactics. Instead of resisting, he volunteers to cook. That unexpected kindness instantly raises An Ziyi's suspicion meter. Because this guy being obedient, yeah, that's already the biggest red flag in this story. She secretly orders Meng to keep watching him. Full surveillance mode activated. But our protagonist isn't worried. After all, the real plan is still hidden. Soon, he serves an entire table of food like the perfect house husband. He keeps acting sweet, trying to score points with homemade dishes. The performance is honestly Oscar-worthy. Unfortunately, An Ziyi sees right through it. She immediately asks for the real reason. Critical hit. Caught red-handed, he awkwardly reveals his request. He wants permission to visit An Wanrong's house, claiming he just needs some fresh air, even offering to go under escort. The answer arrives instantly, and with another slap. Bro gets rejected before finishing the sentence. Morning slap. Lunch slap. At this point, it's a subscription service. Meanwhile, An Ziyi remains completely calm. No mercy whatsoever. She reminds him about the rules again, especially the ban on foul language. Naturally, he complains internally, very internally. Then he switches to Plan B. Maximum puppy eyes mode. This time, he asks for his computer back. Surprisingly, An Ziyi doesn't refuse. She simply orders Meng Yu to retrieve it for him. No freedom granted. Only the item gets delivered. Just like that, another escape route disappears. Our hero is devastated. Every door keeps getting sealed shut, and his hidden preparations are now at risk. Then fate gives him another opening. An Ziyi casually asks why he's so desperate to go. His brain immediately starts spinning, and he comes up with a new excuse: traditional customs. That's his bait. The moment those words land, An Ziyi visibly softens. Direct weakness discovered. Permission is finally granted, but under strict supervision. No wandering allowed. Several days later, the package arrives. The operation begins. Meng Yu escorts him to An Wanrong's house. Luckily, the lady of the house isn't there. A perfect opportunity falls right into his lap. On the way back, he repeats an old trick, sneaking away into a garden, just like before. The same hidden drop location. He secretly stashes an item inside a concealed spot, then casually walks away. Unfortunately, Meng Yu notices something strange. Her cryptic warning nearly gives him a heart attack. She never explains further, which somehow makes it even scarier. The pressure instantly skyrockets. Did she discover everything? That's all he can think about. He returns to the villa completely uneasy. Thankfully, Meng Yu says nothing afterward. For now, disaster is avoided. That evening, An Wanrong arrives. Meng Yu reports the day's events. Our hero watches nervously from afar. Luckily, no suspicious details are revealed. At dinner, he immediately starts acting tired, trying to retreat early. But An Ziyi instantly sees through the act. She claims she's exhausted too. A statement nobody trusts, especially not him. Still, he keeps pretending. His acting skills are fighting for their lives. After dinner, both return upstairs. Everything seems peaceful. An Ziyi is already lying in bed. For a moment, he thinks he has won. Big mistake. A legendary rookie error. The second he lies down, An Ziyi drags him straight into her arms. His survival instincts activate instantly. He tries to change the subject, even bringing up breakfast plans. Nice attempt. It doesn't work at all. The next morning arrives. He gets up early and prepares breakfast. This sudden enthusiasm shocks An Ziyi. He's acting far too obedient. Completely different from before. And that's exactly the problem. After breakfast, An Ziyi heads to work. But all day long, she can't stop thinking about his strange behavior. Everyone knows the rule. Sudden kindness usually means trouble is coming. So she leaves work early. Determined to investigate. Outside the villa, she meets Manga, immediately asking for a report. Every detail matters, especially where Jiang Cheng has been. Manga says the morning was normal, but the afternoon became suspicious. He insisted on cooking dinner. That only makes An Ziyi more suspicious. Something is definitely happening. The mask is slipping. Then Manga reveals another clue. She heard strange noises in the kitchen. Like someone grinding ingredients, but later found nothing suspicious. Even after questioning him, he denied everything. At that moment, An Ziyi's expression changes. She remembers there are no cameras in the kitchen. And suddenly, a terrifying possibility appears. Right then, our protagonist walks downstairs, acting cheerful as ever, offering to finish dinner. Like a perfect husband. Way too perfect. Then he rushes into the kitchen. Meanwhile, his heart is beating like a drum. Everything depends on this moment, because the mysterious substance was prepared beforehand, originally meant for the rice. And now the entire plan is about to be tested. Looks like our guy is terrified the rice might be too hot and ruin his little scheme. So he secretly adds water to cool everything down and make the plan safer. At least, that's what he thinks. After a lot of preparation, dinner is finally served. But An Ziyi immediately notices something strange. A slight frown appears on her face. She clearly isn't a fan of watery rice. Meanwhile, our protagonist keeps acting extra enthusiastic. Way too enthusiastic, honestly. He carefully places the bowl in front of her, trying his best to look innocent. Unfortunately for him, An Ziyi isn't stupid. She quietly starts analyzing the situation. She notices him eating every dish without hesitation, meaning the problem isn't the food, which leaves only one suspect. The suspicious bowl of soaked rice, combined with his strange behavior today, the pieces start fitting together. A smile slowly appears on her face. Then she casually sends him upstairs on an errand. And he falls for it instantly. Hook, line, and sinker. The guy is feeling confident. Way too confident for what's about to happen. Because An Ziyi has already confirmed her suspicion. The moment he's gone, she swaps their rice bowls. A clean counterattack. No hesitation. She even adjusts the portions to hide the evidence. When he comes back, he's completely unaware, still thinking he's the mastermind here. That confidence is about to age terribly. An Ziyi plays along perfectly, even pushing the wine aside to avoid suspicion. Now the trap is fully set, and the prey walks right into it. Neither side reveals their cards, but one side clearly has better poker skills. Our protagonist secretly watches her, seeing her finish the entire bowl of rice. He gets excited. The guy is celebrating internally. After all, he loaded that rice with enough sleeping pills for 2 people. In his mind, victory is guaranteed. He starts imagining his escape already. The guy is writing success stories before finishing chapter 1. But An Ziyi suddenly notices his grin and pretends not to know anything. A veteran move. He even encourages her to rest early, trying to speed things up. His only concern now is whether the drug works too fast. Imagine getting caught by your own trap. That would be awkward. An Ziyi calmly keeps eating, keeping him relaxed. Yet her mysterious smile never disappears, which starts making him nervous. For a second, he wonders if he's been exposed, but quickly dismisses the idea. After all, there were no cameras, and he thought the plan was flawless. Famous last words. Soon, he becomes determined not to let her pass out downstairs. After some casual chatting, he quickly cleans everything up, trying to move to the next phase. And right on cue, An Ziyi suddenly starts swaying. She looks as if she's about to collapse. Excellent acting, by the way. Our protagonist instantly takes the bait. He volunteers to help her upstairs, thinking everything is proceeding perfectly. He couldn't be more wrong. Back in the bedroom, An Ziyi appears completely exhausted, barely able to keep her eyes open. The performance deserves an award. She continues acting sleepy and vulnerable, giving him exactly what he wants to see. And he buys every second of it, even now. Her cold and intimidating aura remains. The moment he sees her, apparently unconscious, he can no longer contain his excitement. He even locks the bedroom door before approaching. Still worried she might be pretending, he pinches her arm hard. A brutal test. The pain nearly makes her break character. But she endures it, like a boss-level villain. Meanwhile, he starts venting everything. Years of frustration pour out, thinking he's finally won. His guard completely drops, and his courage skyrockets. He openly reveals he drugged the rice, basically confessing the entire crime. Absolute genius move. Then he starts mocking her intelligence, completely unaware he's digging his own grave. The confidence is unreal. He even recalls past punishments and takes the opportunity to settle scores. One complaint after another, years of resentment unleashed. Then comes the fatal mistake, a very fatal mistake, still unsatisfied. He raises his hand and slaps her right across the face. A shocking move that changes everything. The sound echoes, and his ego reaches maximum level. He keeps talking trash, thinking he's finally taken revenge. But suddenly, his head starts spinning. His body loses strength. A wave of sleep crashes into him. And right then, An Ziyi seems to move. The guy nearly jumps out of his skin. Pure panic mode activated. He rubs his eyes desperately, only to see her still lying there. So he foolishly relaxes again. Big mistake. He even prepares another slap. This man learns nothing. But before it lands, the plot twist finally arrives. An Ziyi instantly smacks him to the floor. A legendary reverse kill. Everything he said was heard loud and clear. Every single word. Now, the hunter has officially become the prey. The guy immediately starts making excuses, pretending none of it actually happened. Unfortunately, the sleeping pills are already kicking in, and this disaster is only getting started. The sleeping pills finally hit full force, and our genius mastermind immediately crashes to the floor. An Ziyi slowly walks over like the final boss entering Phase 2. She grabs him by the collar and drags him right in front of her. No escape. Now it's time to settle the score for those 2 slaps. And every insult he proudly shouted moments ago. That smile on her face is terrifying. The kind of smile that means someone's about to suffer. Our protagonist instantly switches tactics. From rebel to professional beggar. He desperately apologizes for everything. Unfortunately, SLAP! Another hit lands immediately. An Ziyi exposes his entire plan on the spot. The soaked rice wasn't fooling anyone. She figured out the sleeping pills long ago. Game over. Then she starts listing all the things he did while she pretended to sleep. Every pinch, every poke, every insult. Meanwhile, the poor guy is mentally writing his will. At this point, he regrets everything. Every single decision. He keeps begging for mercy, nonstop, promising to behave from now on, trying every survival strategy available. An Ziyi steps closer. The pressure instantly fills the room. She admits she only discovered the truth because she played along, and what she found shocked even her. The insults could be tolerated, but the slap crossed the line. That was the unforgivable offense. Then comes the order. She tells him to kneel. And that instantly triggers his pride. Years of humiliation begin flooding back. Every punishment and every beating fuels his anger. The rage finally explodes. Our guy decides to fight back. For about half a second, because the moment he lunges, An Ziyi smacks him across the face again. The force is absolutely brutal. He flies backward and slams into the wall. Instant shutdown. Sometime later, he finally wakes up, only to find himself in a completely unfamiliar room. The place feels comfortable. Almost too comfortable. Then he notices something strange. No windows. He looks around carefully. No windows. No appliances either. And suddenly, a horrifying possibility appears. Did he get locked up again? The situation is getting worse by the minute. He desperately tries to understand where he is. Before he can figure it out, someone knocks on the door. And in walk An Wanrong and An Ziyi, the nightmare duo. He's awake. The moment he sees An Ziyi, he practically jumps out of bed, immediately accusing her of drugging him, which is incredibly ironic, considering who prepared the drugged rice. An Ziyi almost laughs at the accusation. She reminds him of one tiny detail. He drugged himself after she switched the bowls. Critical damage. Realizing he's losing, he quickly changes the subject, asking where he is, still pretending to be the victim. Nice try. Even An Wanrong looks speechless. Seriously, she already heard the whole story hours ago. And now he's trying to reverse the blame. Then the truth finally drops. This place is An Ziyi's basement. The revelation hits him like a truck. Another basement? The poor guy can't believe it. He immediately begs to leave. An Ziyi casually pinches his cheek, looking completely unbothered. To her, the basement is perfectly comfortable. But he absolutely refuses that idea. So he puts on his best pitiful expression. More apologies follow. Lots of apologies. Unfortunately, An Ziyi's face suddenly turns ice cold. She's not interested in forgiveness. This is punishment. A very serious punishment. She leaves without hesitation. Even An Ziyi seems upset, ignoring all of his desperate pleas. The heavy door closes again, and reality finally sinks in. He collapses onto the bed in despair. Totally defeated. Now he starts blaming himself. A little too late. His master plan suddenly looks embarrassingly childish. And he finally realizes it. Then, a notification sound rings out. A text message. His eyes widen instantly. Wait, this basement has signal? Now that's unexpected. He hurriedly checks his phone and discovers the message is real. But what comes next is even worse. An Ziyi brings up a mysterious drug from his past, a drug connected to an old incident at university. The mention alone leaves him frozen. His mind goes completely blank, because suddenly, he realizes something. This isn't over yet. Not even close. An Ziyi starts talking about his former crush, and things become alarmingly dangerous. She begins twisting the knife, one psychological attack after another. Then she reveals the pills and calmly walks into position, setting up his phone to record everything. The atmosphere instantly turns horrifying. Apparently, there is another pill, and her next words are pure madness. A revenge plan starts taking shape, a very twisted one. One designed to destroy lives if exposed. At this point, An Ziyi looks completely unhinged. Her laughter fills the basement, and our protagonist's world begins collapsing. He never expected this, not even in his worst nightmares. For the first time, he genuinely becomes afraid of her, terrified. Jiang Cheng desperately objects to An Ziyi's plan, but another slap instantly shuts him down. Before he can resist, An Ziyi takes complete control of the situation. His last chance to escape disappears. And for the first time, real panic completely overwhelms him. Now the roles have fully reversed. The hunter has become the hunted. An Ziyi starts revealing just how obsessed she really is. Her words become increasingly extreme. At this point, it's obvious she wants absolute control over his life, and anyone connected to him becomes a target. The situation grows darker by the second. Then, right in front of him, she reveals another hidden card. A different pill appears. And according to her, it's even stronger. Jiang Cheng immediately realizes, this nightmare isn't over. In fact, it's only getting worse. Tears begin pouring down his face, because he knows An Ziyi always follows through. Fear and humiliation hit him at once. His mind is completely overwhelmed. Eventually, he barely even notices when An Ziyi leaves. A few minutes pass, and an unsettling feeling starts returning. Something is clearly wrong. Then the door suddenly opens. An Wanrong enters carrying food. She simply believes he's hungry, completely unaware of the bigger scheme. The two lock eyes. Jiang Cheng immediately senses danger. He desperately tells her to leave, as fast as possible. But An Wanrong has no idea what's happening. She doesn't know An Ziyi prepared everything beforehand. Another trap has already been set. Seeing Jiang Cheng in distress, she assumes he's unwell. Naturally, she moves closer to help. Unfortunately, that's exactly what the plan needed. Soon, she also starts feeling strange. Her judgment becomes clouded. The atmosphere turns increasingly chaotic. Both are caught in a situation neither can control. Exactly as An Ziyi intended. The final stage of her revenge begins, and everything spirals out of control. Time passes in a blur. The consequences continue piling up. Much later, Jiang Cheng is left physically and mentally exhausted. He can barely process what just happened. His thoughts are a complete mess. And the nightmare still isn't finished. When everything finally settles down, another terrifying realization hits him. The recording. That's the only thing he can think about now. The moment he regains some strength, he rushes toward the phone. The recording is still running. Just seeing it nearly makes his heart stop. Panic completely takes over. His first instinct is simple. Delete it. But right as he reaches for the phone, a powerful hand suddenly snatches it away from behind. Another plot twist drops at the worst possible moment.